How's everybody doing?
Hey, Bouldy?
Hey, sir.
What's new?
I have to tell you, Sisyphus, sometimes I wish I knew more about your past. You must have been a great king.
Well, the thing is that I wasn't, Highness. And that's not modesty from me, all right? All behind me now, and I'd appreciate it if we left it at that.
I hear you, sir. Though whatever you did in your mortal days, you've since more than paid for it, I'm sure. Wait, is that why you're still here in Tartarus? Because you think you deserve this?
It's more like this is where I belong, where my path has taken me, you know? Here in the underworld, you can't entirely escape your past, and yet it's like you get another life to live, with all the wisdom that you picked up along the way. Look who.
Bouldy? I'm Zagreus. Good to make your acquaintance. I know that friends are difficult to come by here in Tartarus, and so I'm grateful that you seem to be a trusty one. Sir, Sisyphus, I know you tend to be in remarkably good spirits, all things considered, but there must be something I can do to help with your predicament, isn't there?
Oh, come now, Prince. Do Bouldy and I look like we could use your charity? We're planning to stay put within this chamber for a while. It's hardly a predicament, I'd say.
But what of the Furies and their torments and all that? They might be back and make all this more difficult for you.
Ah, yes, the Fury Sisters. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing them more infrequently now that you mention it. But either way, so don't you even worry about me. Now here. That I can do.
Cheers, mate. Father, let me ask you something work-related here. I know the Shade called Sisyphus once wronged both you and Thanatos, and has since paid a heavy price. But don't the Fury Sisters now have better things to do than torture him?
You come to me to question how I allocate my resources. Preposterous. I care nothing for that wretched Shade. That he is tortured for eternity is but a technicality resulting from his arrogance. The terms of his incarceration are long lost.
So then if I could somehow find those terms, then theoretically I could grant him a pardon.
If you could somehow do your job and enact miracles, then yes. You could do anything then, I suppose. Including waste your time on those of his undeserving ilk.
I have to ask you for a favor, Meg. And I'm willing to make it worth your while if you'll hear me out.
A proposition, Zagreus. Let's hear it then, while I'm in a charitable mood.
It's about Sisyphus. If I can get my father to alleviate his sentence, would you just ease off of him a little bit? You and your sisters. I think he's suffered quite enough under your whips.
I don't know what you see in him, I swear. But you don't need to ask such things of me. If you can overturn his sentence with Lord Hades, I'd like nothing better than to never see that miserable Shade again.
Nix, I was just busy doing some administrative chamber record-keeping recently, and wouldn't you know it, it somehow slipped my mind where I could find the sentencing parchment work for the Knave-King Sisyphus, forced to toil out in Tartarus. I ran it by Megaera.
He has offered you aid repeatedly. At first I saw it for a brazen act of bribery, but try as I might, there was no deeper underpinning to his actions that I could detect. That is to say, the records you seek may be found in section Sigma Phi Alpha, lower gamma folder.
Sigma Phi Alpha, lower gamma folder. Got it. Thanks. Now to check the old administrative chamber there. Should check that stack of contracts back there.
Amongst the parchment records of the dead and punished are the sealed documents known as the Knave-King sentence, forcing said king to endlessly toil with a boulder till the end of time.
I'll just patch this through to the house contractor then. In the name of Hades, I hereby release Sisyphus from the terms of his pact.
You what? All this just for that wretched Shade?
I have good news, sir. I located the contract binding you and bought it out. It's null and void. You're free to go.
Oh, indeed. Then does this mean, Prince, then The Fury Sisters, they won't come around as often anymore?
Not just that, Sisyphus. You can make your way someplace else where other decent shades reside. You know, somewhere with fewer chains and torture devices and such.
You're much too kind to this old soul, Prince Zed. The thing is, this is home. For me and Bouldy, it is what it is. Though, knowing that the Furies won't be visiting with quite their former regularity, that is a load off. Heavier than Bouldy there.
You mean you're really going to stay, even though you don't have to?
Is that so odd, Highness? Don't see myself lugging old Bouldy out of here besides. And if I were to leave, why, we would not be having these exchanges now and then. I happen to enjoy them quite a bit. Now, here you go, and thank you very much. Not to worry.
Nyx's power. Who am I to question fate? I guess Sisyphus is even freer than before.